I'm gonna show you how to get your own version of your dream shop at your place off Amazon.com. We don't have to crush your wallet on this one. Everything's gonna get delivered right to your door. You're gonna have absolutely everything you could ever need to weld whatever you want. And some of the things that we're gonna go over here today are definitely things that a lot of people forget to consider. If you wanna get your own dream shop set up at home and do it on a budget, this one's for you. The first thing we're gonna look for is a good welding table. All right, we see a ton of cool options here. You see pretty much all these are made out of metal, which is good, but there is a couple things that we're gonna look for specifically here. Okay, we can see this first one here. Let's check this out. This looks pretty sweet. Okay, we see it actually comes with some clamps, which is kind of cool. Clamps are always good. It's got a nice tabletop. You can put stuff on it. That's cool. Other tables have brittle wood, but we can see it looking at the bottom. It does not have wheels. I'm gonna tell you why wheels are important in a sec here. Hold up. Yeah, so this one here, you just adjust the feet. There's no wheels. We want wheels. Okay, this one here, this is the one I'm looking at. I think this is gonna be the one. See, it's got wheels. Wheels are good. We're gonna be able to move this around a little bit easier. The metal top has no powder coat or any kind of painting or coating on it. That's really important. We wanna make sure it's a raw metal finish on top. This is gonna make sure we have no problems arcing up when we start welding. We can see this one can hold a little bit of weight by the looks of it. That's good. And not only does it have wheels, but it has wheels that can lock down. This is an absolute must for everything that we're gonna do here. Now, it may not seem like a big deal, but it actually is a really incredible freedom to have when you can move your table around your shop. There's been many times I need to move my table around in here, whether I have a project that's really tall, I need to shuffle the table this way or that way. Sometimes if I'm doing grinding on a project, obviously I want to move the table outside. I don't want dust in my shop here. Make sure with whatever you're getting, it has wheels and they can lock down. Like this table here really does have everything that we want. Okay, the next really important thing that we can see here is it has storage options. And we're going to be going over a few details as far as the welding machine goes that will relate to the storage tray, so make sure you stick around for that section of the video as well. Another good thing about simple material like just angle iron metal is basically we can customize this however we want. You can weld little hooks on stuff, you can drill and tap to make hooks so you can hang your torch lead, your helmet, things like that on it. You can build little racks, you can hang your clamps and stuff underneath. All different common gear that you're gonna have to use all the time when working on welding projects. We're gonna go over that in a second here as well. And the price, 189 bucks, that's pretty good, man. I'm gonna add that to the cart. What is this? No, I don't want that. Get out of here. Okay, so added to cart. Our grand total so far is 189 bucks. So with what we wanted with this one, we got a solid metal top. Not only do we have good wheels, but we have wheels that can lock down so we can move the table around. We got options to customize exactly what we want as far as storage, gear, stuff like that. And the storage tray, like we talked about just a few minutes ago, this is really important for the welding machine. Let's look for this now. Okay, so this one's gonna be a little bit subjective for a couple reasons. The first reason is going to be obviously how much you're willing to spend on this. The second reason is going to be actually what type of welding you want to do in your shop. So the first thing we're going to go over here is budget. Obviously, understandably, if you're just getting going, you may not want to spend like $2,000-3,000 bucks or upwards of that even on a machine. Basically, if you just want to get started, you might just want to do simple welding projects. That's absolutely fine. So let's check out to start with what we can find here. Some brands that we're looking at here, I can see that there are some that I'm familiar with, some of my friends or other people I know using them. And some of these brands, legit, I have never heard of at all. Now, the main thing that I recommend you consider if you're looking at brands that perhaps you aren't familiar with, this may seem really simple, but check out the reviews and make sure there is a lot of them. Some of the reviews may be really helpful. They might point you in the direction of projects that you may or may not be able to do. Some of the bad reviews or whatever might not even apply to things that you want to use it for. Whatever you do, do your research. Now, there's one really important thing that we want to consider before deciding what machine we want to get, and that is what type of welding you want to do. Now, I knew when I set up my machines in my shop here, I wanted to work with aluminum. And if this is you as well, there is one thing that you need to know, and you need to have a machine with the capability of welding AC or alternating current. This is obviously the polarity that allows you to weld aluminum. Now, if you just want to do basic welding on steel, stainless steel, even titanium and stuff like that, check out this option here. This is pretty sweet. I know a lot of people around here who use this brand called Prime Weld. Many students in my online TIG welding program online use this exact same machine. This machine here is dead simple. But you can see this is only a DC or direct current machine. What this means basically is this is only going to be capable of welding stainless steel, mild steel, titanium, other types of reactive quote unquote metals like that. It does not have AC or alternating current polarity, so it will not be able to weld aluminum. But seriously, this is something to consider thoroughly at this point here. What this is going to do is later on in this list, we're going to have to decide what we want as far as practice materials, and you're going to need to have this decided at this point here. You can see the price here of this machine just for DC is a really good option. It does come with a lot of stuff. I'm not a huge fan of this torch. This thing is super bulky, a little bit too heavy for me. Look at this foot pedal here. This one is super awkward. I would not enjoy using this one. This stuff, okay, sure, that's good enough. The price point, pretty good, $449. But if you want to go for a machine that can weld both stainless steel and everything with a DC current as well as aluminum with alternating current, let's check this one out here. Okay, we can see this one has 225 amp. It has AC and DC TIG welding capabilities. Looking at the accessories here, I love the torch it comes with. This is a CK Worldwide torch. This is a legit torch. It comes with a better foot pedal. I like that one way better. We can see this one also has a ton of consumables, all the different tungsten options, cups, setups, and stuff like that. It comes with a regulator, a welding mask. I don't know what the heck you'd ever do with that. Bunch of different accessories. Let's take a look at the control panel here. Yeah, you see it's got the AC option right there for TIG. It's got your frequency, your balance adjustment. That's awesome to have right there. Again, for all the accessories it comes with, as well as that torch specifically, this is a great deal. Add to cart. What does this go away? And there's our new grand total, $1,058. Seems like a little bit much at the moment, but remember, we got a whole dope welding table to start with, and we got a TIG welding machine that can do literally everything at this point. Now again, like we talked about with the welding table, as far as storage and everything, go back to that if you skipped over it. Because potentially we could actually take a look at the dimensions of that table and make sure that whatever we buy as far as a welder will fit under there. Having a machine set up under your welding table that you can roll around with you is a huge bonus. So when matching your machine to your table, make sure to do your research and get something that works for whatever you want to use it for. Okay, we're doing really well. Let's see what's next. Oh shoot. Okay, hold up. I forgot something, and it's kind of important. But what we'll do, we will circle back to that later in this episode here. So wait until the end of the episode and make sure I don't forget. Let's get into our next section here, which is super important as well. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna go over here is a welding helmet. Okay, we see lots of options here. Oh, hey, look at this dude. He's cool. Okay, one thing I do recommend is whatever helmet you end up picking, look through the reviews and make sure that there is no issues with the headgear. Headgear in the helmet is something that is probably the weakest point in every construction of a helmet. I've been welding for decades. The one thing that always goes is something in the headgear breaks, and then it's really hard to fix. First glance at oh my gosh, look at this one. That thing is sweet. It's a skeleton helmet. That is pretty cool. I'm getting sidetracked here. Back to what we're looking for here. Let's look at this one here in ESAB. These are super nice. Like I say, you can spend a lot of money on these things. This thing has amazing panoramic vision. It's probably super lightweight. Has all kinds of features, honestly, that I would never use. I'm the type of guy who likes the setting on the helmet. I just set it, forget it. I probably will never change it. Okay, let's go back to the main page here. Check out something a little more affordable, something that has everything that we need as well. Let's see here. Okay, this one here, Yes Welder. I have no affiliation with any of these brands, by the way. This is actually one that kind of caught my eye when I was researching this episode. This has a really big screen, which is exactly what we want. We want to be able to see everything as widely as we can. You can see the solar charging panels are above and below the actual viewing area. This is kind of important. Sometimes helmets are never facing directly at whatever light they charge with, so having one on top and bottom is definitely beneficial. Taking a look inside here, there's the specs of how big it is, which is actually pretty sweet. This is a big lens. You see the different things you can adjust here, which is pretty sweet. Got some other stuff. I don't really understand what that all means. Again, you can see the solar charging panels top and bottom there. That's sweet. Again, for 68 bucks, come on. This is a pretty good deal. I'm gonna go with this one. No, I don't want this. Okay, grand total. We have added that to cart. Now with everything so far, we are at 1,127 bucks, doing real well here. Okay, so the next thing that I definitely recommend doing some research on and make sure that these are TIG specific, that is good welding gloves. There are so many different types of welding gloves you can choose from. Let's check them out here. Okay, we see lots of options here. There's a ton of stuff we can pick. Let's take a look at these ones here first. I've actually used these ones a ton. They do last a really long time. However, taking a closer look at them here, they're actually kind of bulky. There's a lot of padding in the palm and the fingers, which is good. Obviously, they last a lot longer. They're more comfortable, but we want good dexterity. Let's keep looking. Okay, if you ever see any gloves like these, stay away from them. Unless you're doing stick welding or wire feed or something like that. These things are like oven mitts on your hands. They feel terrible when you're TIG welding. Okay, let's take a look at these ones here. These are TIG gloves. Okay, yeah, they look pretty good. They are made of, wait, what? They're made of kid skin. Forget these. We're out of here. Sickos. Take a look at these ones here. These are sweet. These are Tillmans. I've used these. A lot of people are familiar with this brand. They're really thin. They have great dexterity. They do last a pretty long time if you're somewhat gentle with them. And again, for 15 bucks, come on, add that to cart. We like those. That takes our grand total to 1,142 bucks for everything so far. We're doing awesome here. Okay, the next thing that we need to pick up here is our PPE, or personal protective equipment. This stuff is really important. We're here purchasing everything that we want right now. Let's not skip it. Let's do it. Okay, the first up that we're gonna get is eye protection. We can see that there are a million options here, and to be honest, most of these are dirt cheap. Get something lightweight. Don't get anything chunky or anything with a crazy strap like this one here. Cruising on. Let's see if we find something that I am familiar with. These ones right here. I've used these before. These are going to be the ones. These ones are really sweet. They're super clear. You can buy replacement lenses. You can switch out if they get scratched up. They got these little nose cushion things. Super comfy. It's $15. Let's get it. Bringing our grand total to $1,158. Let's keep on going. All right, the next thing that I would probably pick up at this point would be earplugs. Like we talked about, if you are going with a machine that's going to have to do welding with aluminum, welding AC or alternating current is really loud. A lot of people think they may not need earplugs, but trust me, if you're welding aluminum, you want earplugs. Again, there's a million options. You can buy fancy stuff that freaking goes in your ears and protects you from this and that, but honestly, let's just keep it simple. Buy these ones right here. It's a giant box of them. They're foam earplugs. You can throw them away after every use. By the way, don't reuse earplugs. They give you ear infections. Throw them out after you're using them. They're foam earplugs. You can use them for shooting, yard work, woodwork, and traveling. What else do you need earplugs for? Here we go. Let's get this. It's a box of 200 of them for $20 basically. Add that to cart. Let's do that. Bring our grand total to $1,178. You see, these items are a little more cheap now. We can kind of go crazy here. Okay, this is important. We want to really consider this. We want to make sure that we have some kind of breathing protection or a respirator. Okay, everything we need is going to be right here. These are the filters that you use for welding. You can find different filters for different uses, but check this out here. We're gonna get everything in this one unit right here. This is the exact one that I've used for years and years now. These things are super adjustable. They're really comfortable on your face. Make sure you get the appropriate size. Taking a look at the diagram here, it's gonna keep us safe from all these germs, gases, solvent vapor, organic vapors, paint, mist, everything you can think of. Take a look. Okay, the face piece latch, it's a quick release on and off thing. That's priceless. I use that all the time with this mask. Honestly, this mask is the way to go. I keep it super simple. You can get different filters for whatever it is you're doing, but for $15, let's go with this one here. This brings our grand total to $1,194. Still under $1,200, and we got a full shopping cart. Let's keep going. Okay, so as far as safety goes, as far as PPE, we got a lot of really important things here. We do have a few more really important safety things that we will pick up, so hang tight for that. Seriously, safety is important. I see people get set up with shops at home and they get hurt. This sucks. People take all the time in the world to make sure that they're covered up properly while they're working on the job site, but when they work at home on the weekends, it's like they've never worked in a shop before. Safety is important. Don't skip this stuff. Okay, now let's get back into more fun stuff here. There's a few things as far as tools that we're gonna get to make life a lot easier for you. So one thing that we need to be doing is properly preparing and sharpening our tungstens. No matter what type of welding you're gonna need to do, you're gonna need to prepare tungstens. Obviously you can spend money on an expensive tungsten grinder. I have one that's really cool. I have a belt sander. I've used that for years here. That thing works amazing. But honestly, if you're just getting going, if you just wanna clean up your tungstens, if you dip them and make a mess with them, one thing that I started out with in this very shop was an angle grinder. Now, like we talked about earlier on, go back and check it out if you missed it. With most welding kits that you're gonna purchase as far as your actual machine setup, it's gonna come with an assortment of tungstens and stuff like that. So make sure you do your research on that first. Okay, so let's take a look here. Okay, we see a million awesome looking grinders here. We see some DeWalt stuff. DeWalt is awesome. We like that. We see some Bosch. We see Skill. We see all kinds of brands that we know and love, but come on everybody, it's an angle grinder. Take it easy. Gonna go with this one here. This one literally has an on-off switch. Comes with a basic hard disk. These are fine for cleaning up tungstens. Also, make sure that you only use this disk for only cleaning tungstens. Again, this one has everything we need. It's $39. What is this thing? Go away. Our grand total for everything we have so far is $1,234. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are doing real well so far. That is going to help you out a lot with your tungsten prep, as well as cutting, grinding, whatever else you need to do with different discs. Okay, this one's actually really important. I use these things a million times when I'm working, and these are welding pliers. Now, trust me, whether it's cleaning your cup, setting up your torch properly, picking up material that you just welded is super hot, you are going to use these welding pliers a million times. Don't skip this one. Let's see what we can find here. Again, we see a lot of options here. They have tons of different things, but let's literally click on the first one here. Again, Yes Welders, same company. Again, no affiliation with these brands. It's just the ones that I'm seeing and I'm liking. They got a good rubber grip, which is obviously safe for, we're working with electricity here, people. Make sure they got a rubber grip. Needle nose grip, that's good for cleaning out your cups. It's got a good spring. Again, for 14, we got a deluxe version here. Let's check this out. Deluxe version, what do you got? You got big handles, look at these. Ooh, that looks badass. And it's got a chain. Look at that. I like that. Remember when wallet chains were cool? I can't wait for those to come back. You got a chain on these so you can hang them off your table like we talked about with our welding table. If you missed that, we talked about customizing our welding table. Go back and watch it. But you can make yourself little hooks for stuff exactly like that. You can clip whatever so you're not dropping it on the floor. Let's splurge here. Let's go with the deluxe model. We're gonna add those to cart, bringing our grand total for all this stuff so far to $1,252. Sweet, let's keep going. Okay, we're almost done here, but there is still some really important stuff that we're gonna pick up here. Let's go. The next category that we're gonna go over here basically is our practice materials. Now, basically there's only two things that we need to know what we want to do with as far as practice materials. This is gonna be basically the practice coupons that we practice our welding on, as well as the welding filler material. Now again, if you missed it, go back and watch the part of the video where we talk about the welding machine and we talk about the capabilities, which machines will be able to weld different types of metals. But because you have already watched that part of the video and you've decided on what type of metal you want to work on, getting yourself plate coupons is a great place to start with learning. All the exercises that I teach in my online TIG welding program actually are done on these exact plates for the most part. You can see them all priced out here. There's different types, different corresponding filler material. I personally recommend working with, as far as aluminum, 3.2 millimeter or 1/8 of an inch diameter filler material. With stainless steel or something like that, I prefer working with about an 035 wire, or approximately 1 millimeter or so. 1/16 will be fine also. Now, obviously, like we talked about, you can look at each type of coupon, each type of filler material individually, but here's a little hack. Check this out. Okay, so when you're searching here, type this in instead. You're gonna type in an assortment and check out what it brings up here. You can see a couple really awesome things here. These are kits that actually have several different types of material you can practice in one kit, as well as the corresponding filler material. Opening up this one here because I saw this one has stainless steel. I'll definitely want to always be working with stainless steel. This is from Weld Metals Online. Again, a brand that's super reputable. A lot of people use this website, but this is the stuff on Amazon, so we're shopping here. You can see we got stainless steel coupons, we got aluminum, carbon steel or mild steel. We got different filler material corresponding to each one, and a laser tungsten from CK Worldwide. So again, a legit tungsten that'll work for all kinds of stuff. I use that tungsten for almost everything I do here. Again, it's a kit that literally has everything that you need in it for $60. I'm just gonna pick this up here. We're gonna add this to cart. This is gonna bring our grand total with practice materials included now to $1,312. Again, look at everything that we got in our shopping cart so far. We got a table, we got a machine, we got all kinds of tools, all kinds of safety stuff. We have practice filler material, we have practice coupons to work on. We're doing super well here. Let's keep going. Now, before we move on, I have lessons in the description below that are completely free for both aluminum and stainless steel. Basically all the stuff that we're going to be able to work on at this point here now. These workshops, they are completely free. You just register with your email. You're going to have access to different classes that are going to help you out with getting going with exactly this stuff here. It's going to teach you how to set up your gear. It's going to teach you how to weld this stuff. Check it out, description below. Okay, now that we got our practice materials together, you're going to want to make sure that we can clean everything properly before we use it. So this is where we need to consider cleaning materials. Acetone is something that a lot of people use for different types of aerospace, really clean stuff. Let's just keep it simple, go with that. However, acetone is extremely flammable. We're gonna go over fire safety in a second here, hang tight. Okay, looking at everything we got here, we got, yeah, acetone is also for nail polish. That's right, my wife uses this stuff. There it is there, how cute. Let's see if we can find some real acetone for welding stuff here. Here we go, this'll do. It's a good metal jug. You always want a metal jug when you're working in a shop. You don't want anything plastic because that can melt and spill flammable liquid everywhere. Just get this one. Comes with a free paintbrush for $25.95. Add to cart. This is going to bring our grand total to $1,363. We're doing super well. We got good stuff to clean our material with now. Now, because when I started practicing in this garage, my shop that I work in, it is somewhat of a confined space. It is pretty big in here. But again, this is something you're going to want to consider if you are working in any kind of a confined space. We need to set up a couple really important things to make sure that we have proper air circulation and proper safety with fire. Okay, so for air circulation, let's keep this super simple. Check this out. A lot of people see me working with this thing right here. It is a fan. It is nothing fancy at all. A lot of people think this is actually blowing air at me. It's actually pointing the other way. What this is doing is it's actually pulling fumes away from me. Okay, we're gonna type in shop fan here. Let's take a look at these. Ooh, these are fancy. I don't know, dude, these are all expensive. Let's try, I got a different idea. Get rid of shop fan and put office fan. Here we go. Okay, this one's blowing like leaves out of it. We don't want that one. Keep looking. What do we see? This one right here. This is perfect. Here we go. It's a box fan. You can clamp these down, which is actually kind of nice on your table so they don't rock around or fall over. It blows air, of course. Look at it. This dude's chilling. He's got his chick with him. Nice work, dude. This is super, super simple. Just get this one, honestly, add to cart. 40 bucks in there. Bringing our grand total of $1,403. We're doing real well. Okay. All right, next thing here, also super important. We want to make sure that we always have a fire extinguisher. Do not skip on this one. You can see these things do not cost them that much. Come on, keep them close by. Make sure that they are ready to go in case anything crazy happens. If you were practicing, your local fire department thanks you in advance. This one's fine. Pick that one. Bring our grand total for everything to $1,431. We like this. Okay, wait, I just remembered the thing that we forgot earlier on in this episode. Check this out. You always want to get comfortable as you are practicing. You might put in some long hours like I do, working away in here. What's one thing that you're gonna want? Is something to sit on. What am I sitting on right now? Some kind of a stool. Let's check it out. Okay, not much to really consider here. There is a few things I will recommend actually. You can see this one here has a backrest. A backrest is actually really nice to have on a stool. However, this one here has no wheels. We want to be able to move around a little bit. This one here has both a backrest, which is sweet. It has wheels, but this thing is over $100. Forget that. Look at this one here. This one is going to be so simple. It has a ton of reviews. A lot of people have purchased this one. Let's check this out. It's just a mechanic's stool. You can adjust the height, which is super sweet. We want to be able to go up and down. It has wheels and a cool little storage tray for anything you want to put on it, like all this stuff here. For 36 bucks, this is going to top it off. Add that to cart. Bringing our grand total for our entire setup of what we need to get going in your own shop at home to $1,468. All in. It has absolutely everything like we talked about. Everything you could consider, everything you could possibly need. We got a welding table, welder, helmet, gloves, eye protection, earplugs, respirator, welding pliers with a wallet chain, practice materials, filler material, coupons, acetone, paintbrush, #1 biggest fan, fire extinguisher, and a stool. For $1,468 for absolutely everything to get you welding from your garage or shop. You've researched everything that you want to do, everything that you need out of a welding machine. You are ready to go. Now, before we get any welding done, there is one more thing that you need to consider. Obviously, we can't get this off Amazon, and that is welding gas. Welding cylinders come from all different suppliers. They have different pricing structures depending where you live. Now, keep it simple with whatever you end up getting. I go with 100% argon gas. Argon gas is good for aluminum, stainless steel, mild steel. Literally, it's kind of an all-in-one type of gas. A lot of people get confused. They think they need these fancy gas mixes of a little bit of this gas, a little bit of that gas. Too much to consider. If you're just getting going, you just want to learn, keep it simple. 100% argon gas is going to get you ripping on all kinds of stuff, literally whatever you want to weld. Now, obviously, with this list here, you can get bigger, more fancier, more specialized stuff for something that you may need. This is just a beginner's list. You customize whatever you want, however you need. All of the links to literally everything that we've talked about here is in the description below, right to Amazon.com. Those are my affiliate codes, so they tell Jeff Bezos that I sent you. Again, I have free lessons to my TIG welding classes online. They're on my website for you to keep. Go there, check them out, and happy welding.